And the title is Ground Reaction Forces Comparison of Differential Cushioning Should Running.
Okay, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for your introduction. I'm Ming Sheng from National Taiwan Normal University, and I'm going to show you the title is Ground Reaction Forces Comparison of Differential Cushioning Short Running. And this project was supervised by Tzyy Yuang SHIANG. And also, I come from National Taiwan Normal University. Okay, running is the most popular form of exercise in the world. In the United States alone, an estimated 12 million people run frequently. Let me show you some of the well-known marathons in the United States. It's New York Central Park, and it's Chicago, it's San Francisco, and also Boston. However, adequate running is benefit, but if too much overuse running injury would be a problem to runners. And it requires 6 to 12 weeks of rehab. So what leads to overuse running injuries? Let's talk about the tibial stress fracture, TSF. The excessive motion and repetitive impact loadings are thought to cause the TSF. Researchers developed themselves to try to figure out the mechanism of running injury, but the findings are inconsistent. It is widely accepted by researchers that vertical impacts are the main reason that causes TSF. But however, on the other side, higher vertical force loading rates were preset before the subject sustained their stress fracture. So, running injury is a popular issue among sports biomechanics. And although many researchers are focusing on reducing the injury, unfortunately, the incidence rate haven't declined significantly compared with 2 decades ago. So, we start to figure out if there's any mechanism of sports injury causes TSF. Let me show you the mechanics of TSF. When the full contact ground reaction force occurs, due to the orientation of ground reaction force, the tibia sustain a bending moment. Ground reaction force, this bending moment is caused by both vertical and posterior ground reaction force, resulting in TSF. So remember, we mentioned to you before about the controversy of the mechanism of TSF. Some researchers think the main reason is vertical impacts. But on the other hand, reviewing the evidence from recent publication, some researchers announced that low posterior ground reaction force generate a relatively high moment on for the posterior direction and cause the tibial stress fracture. The yellow bar is represented by of the posterior moment arm, and the red one is for the vertical. So, okay, we are keeping in your mind, beside the vertical impacts, the posterior force might play a role in the mechanism of TSF. Okay, after realizing the mechanism of running injury, shoes industry are focusing on designing different cushion systems to reduce the impacts and injury. Because vertical impacts are thought to be the main risk of injury, those functional design were focusing on reducing the vertical impacts, trying to reduce the running injury. And again, I should remind you, the incidence rate haven't declined significantly. So our purpose of this study was to design a shear interface can produce the shear cushion to see whether the different shear cushioning outsource can reduce the impact loadings in running. And move on to the methods. Military use running shoes was used in this study. We had 3 types of running shoes: normal one without cut, and the transverse cut and oblique cut. As you can see on this slide, we cut the outsource so that these 2 fragments could produce a shear shift during the stance phase when running. We investigate how the shear shift will affect the characteristics of ground reaction force. Okay, 15 male heel strikers were recruited in this study. Data collected by MTI force plate at 1,000 hertz. And also we used repeat measurement ANOVA to analyze this data. And it's the trial we think is the success trial because they make their foot completely contact on the ground. Force plate. So, I hope you guys are not getting lost. So I summarize again our purpose of this study. We were designing a shear interface, also trying to reduce not only the vertical impacts but also the posterior impact when running. The vertical and posterior peak ground reaction forces and the appearance timing are the variables we look into. Okay, let's see what we have on the results. We didn't find significant differences on vertical ground reaction force, neither did on posterior ground reaction force. Besides, both transverse and oblique cut showed a significant delayed appearance timing on the posterior ground reaction force. Although there was no significantly delayed timing on vertical ground reaction force, it seems to have a slight tendency of the timing delayed on transverse cut here. So, according to our findings, we have some discussions about ground reaction force and the appearance timing of first impact peak. As what we expect, there's no differences on the ground reaction forces. Former study had shown that the cushion properties of shoes did not show detectable differences among different type of outsoles. And they provide explanation. They said it's because the subject might have adapted their running styles to different shoe conditions. So it's acceptable. And then we are moving on to the corresponding appearance timing of impact force. The initial force peak, also called the impact force, occurred within the first 10% of the stance phase. And during this period of time, our muscular system hasn't been activated. Therefore, the impact loadings cannot be observed by muscles. Our shear cushion design also postpone the impact peak close to the active phase of muscle contraction, so the impact can be observed by muscle function. And we use 2 patterns of the vertical ground reaction forces to illustrate the phenomenon. The black one is the pattern wearing normal shoes, and the gray one is the pattern wearing the shear cushion design shoes. Obviously, the first peak of vertical force was postponed close to the active phase of muscle contraction. So we conclude the transverse and the oblique cuttings also delayed the appearance timing of first impact forces. And further investigation, we are going to compare the differences between walking and running conditions. And of course, we will look into the kinematics and kinetics data. We thank Nike for their support of this study. And since we are the members of Nike Research, it's my duty to make some contribution tonight. I'll show you a commercial advertisement it's prohibited in the United States because the content is too scary.
So she wear Nike shoes?
Who knows? Okay, thank you for your attention.
Thank you for the interesting presentation and the question for the presenter.
So, for Mr. 21st, yeah, you are the jury.
Because I'm very confused with some terminology. When you say vertical force, what do you mean posterior force?
Posterior force is the braking force when you touch down. Braking force.
It's a 1/2.
Do you mean the force on
One
initial
half.
direction?
Reaction force.
就是你下去的时候的反射力。那
That's a reaction force.
反射力是 reaction force.
one reaction force.
包括
No,
vertical
that's not
force,
that's a
shear
reaction
force.
force.
Yeah, but we have 但是有3个轴向。那我们不只看它 vertical， 还看它那个 horizontal force。
Right. But that's not a shear force. No. That's not a shear force. That's 4.5. Okay. Many people had a
It's not shear
confused.
force, I know.
No, many people are easy to confuse. 那个侧地板啊，侧地板的 design，that's how to design the force platform。侧地板的 design 只能得到3个轴向的力，这个力是3个轴向，所以 no shear force, all normal force in 3 directions. So I understand, but confused why they always say the shear cushions. Yeah, why is the shear cushions? We already measured the 3 normal force, no shear force at all. Yeah.
Okay. Can I explain?
How can you use the AP shear?
Yeah, I use the posterior force.
What mean posterior?
就是向后，因为对，就像老师说的，shear 那不叫 shear force，我知道，就是我们把它做成有那个 shear shift， 就是我讲说它这个相对的这个互相这个移动叫做 shear shift。那我们利用这个 shear shift 这个表现来降低它的 impact。所以